Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. You know that scripture that's really well known that pretty much everyone can quote? Yeshua said it. There will be wars and rumors of wars. He was speaking of getting close to the last days. He said, this is not the end. These things, and he was mentioning lots of different things, including the wars and rumors of wars. He said that these things, have to happen before the end comes. And I'm not saying necessarily, or at least with 100% certainty, that that's where we're at. But boy, it's just starting to look like that. It just seems like there's conflict everywhere. This whole deal with Syria is getting pretty serious. I mean, it's the stuff that's happened, and it's happening so rapidly. I think that's what's shocking a lot of people. We've been sitting around waiting for something to happen, not necessarily wanting it, but just figuring that something big, serious is going to happen in regards to Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Iran, or Israel and Lebanon. And while things have happened, it's been a pretty slow progress, just incremental, it seems. And then all of a sudden, within just a few days, this nation, this situation that most people haven't been paying attention to for a long time, because it's been going on and on and on. And then all of a sudden, man, it's just blowing up. And apparently Turkey is supporting these rebels that are moving in and doing quite a bit of damage. They've taken several areas of the country. There's videos out there of what they're doing, and it's so grotesque. I can't really talk about it here, but disembodiment. I mean, it's awful. It's absolutely awful what's going on, and there's no gentle way to put that. But it's being also supported by the United States. Iraq is involved. Russia's involved. Israel says they're going to get involved. They're going to go in and they're going to do some damage too. It's just like everybody wants to be involved in this fight in a country that no one, at least anywhere else but right there, seems to really care about. No one's really clear on why everyone's so concerned with Syria. Why this country? But all of a sudden it has jumped to the front page. And is dominating a lot of the news cycle of what is going on there, and the fighting, and the various different nations that are doing all kinds of stuff. Russia is carpet bombing areas. The United States, there's reports of United States military going in and striking certain areas. It's very intense, and it's strange that all of a sudden this has become the hotbed. And you know what it's done? It's taken all the attention off of places like Ukraine and Israel and Iran, or Israel and Hamas or Hezbollah. In fact, there was something I was reading this morning that basically Hamas has just been forgotten. So yeah, that's going on. Now, of course, the other conflicts are still building up. The United States put a bunch of B-52 bombers in Finland, very close to the border with Russia, as another kind of provocation. The United States has also put missile systems, defense missile systems, in the Philippines and in Japan because of the possibility of what's going on with North Korea and China. China has reiterated it. And been very demanding that the United States quit militarizing Taiwan. They've also moved some carrier groups fleet into that area so that there's more military equipment there just in case things happen. All of this stuff is just continually building up. But it's other places that are popping up. Georgia, not the state, the country, seems to be going into a civil war, and there's lots of violence there, and maybe they're the next place that's gonna do something, right? India and Bangladesh, they've had some tensions rising for a while, and now both sides are moving tanks and troops to their borders. with each other because things might just pop off there. It just seems strange that all of this stuff is just happening. You know, it's like the whole world wants to go into a big war. And I mean, there's several different angles a person could take from this. You know, why has this happened, or why does it seem like there's been this big explosion, figuratively, of conflict? Is it just because we're just noticing it, or is it there's something really causing it? And it's funny how it's happened after the election here in the United States. So, you know, are they trying to get a war started before Trump gets office? Do they want to get a war started because it would look much better for Trump to turn around and bring real global peace? Because it's exactly what it seems like, because he's out there talking with Kim Jong-un and Putin and Netanyahu and all these other players, and they seem to be interested in listening to him and, you know, accepting peace deals. And while that sounds great, it's also spoken about biblically of someone that would come and that would bring about global peace. And so that's a little disturbing on that side. Also, I can't help but think that, as weird and as silly as it is, it's somehow connected to things. These drones or unidentified aerial phenomena, or whatever you want to call it, they're still popping up everywhere. And they're popping up over military installations. They're popping up over nuclear sites. They're popping up over capital cities, London, Washington, D.C. It's strange. And it's not just that it's some kooky people with blurry cameras that are catching the footage of it. It's actually making mainstream news, and it's causing local officials to go out and investigate, and military-style helicopters chasing them around. Makes me wonder that there's not something there connected also, that there's this possibility of all these global conflicts of war building and these strange things that are floating around. Is it going to be that they're going to say, oh, aliens have come to fix everything? Or is this just showing that the conflict is getting bigger and bigger and everybody's spying on each other and sending these drones over to monitor things? Who knows what's going on? But I think that the people that know, the people that are paying attention, are seeing that there is rapidly growing tensions, rapidly growing possibility of conflict in just the last few weeks, really in the last few days. And it doesn't seem like that there's anything to slow it down, anything to stop it. The White House certainly isn't doing anything about it. Donald Trump isn't even in power yet, and he seems to try to be doing some things, but there's other things that he's doing that's almost like it's poking it. So who knows what's going on? You know, he announced yesterday that if BRICS tries to go off the dollar, that he'll impose 100% tariff on any country that, you know, is part of BRICS. And remember that BRICS, or those nations, wouldn't be paying those tariffs. You and I would be if we chose to purchase anything coming from those countries. But it's interesting that he's doing that in defense of the U.S. dollar, the banking system, the banksters, instead of trying to reform that system and fix the problem that people don't want to use the dollar anymore, instead forcing it upon them. It's strange, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just, to me, it has this feel that something, not quite exactly sure, but something's about ready to pop. And I would suggest that you folks kind of get ready for it. I've said before, you know, between now and the end of this year, now and January 20th, something like that, there's a very strong possibility that things will start unraveling even worse than they already are. So you want to make sure that you're ready for that. Acquire the things that you need, be in the place that you want to be, if that's at all possible, but most importantly, work on yourself, work on your family, Work on your neighbors, the people around you, your community, because as things, like I said, start to unravel, that's really where you're going to want to be, because you're not going to be able to depend upon government or anything else to take care of you. You know that. We depend on the Father in heaven. We depend on our preparations and our knowledge and our skills. And so you need to make sure that all those things are in the best possible place that they can be, because things are looking pretty crazy out there when you start to pull in all of these different tensions and conflicts and movements of militaries and everything. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's more than I can even put into a short video. But you need to be preparing for it, because the ones that are ruling things, the ones that are in control, I think it's quite clear that they desperately want a global war, and they're probably going to stop at nothing so that they can have that global war. And in the end, we'll be caught in the middle of it, one way or the other. So you need to get ready. Get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.